Hello everyone and welcome back to a new year with PTC Talks, where we are happy today by having Johan Ekengren and Akhil Jain at DxP Services for a session on the market trends and business benefits of embracing your digital transformation journey through Windchill Plus. But first, a very quick introduction about myself, and my name is Torbjörn Peterson. I'm the Alliance Manager for PTC in the Nordics, and we are running all these webinars on a weekly basis on Fridays, same time, where we invite customers and partners for some inspiration on digital transformation to see what is possible, how to make things happen, and how to be supported by our partners participating. And all the past webinars have been recorded and are to be found on the registration site. And the agenda for today is first a very quick overview of PTC by my colleague Carl from the customer success team, and then Johan and Akhil will start by introducing themselves and touch base on a few challenges, how to address these, and then explain some of the business outcomes at the end. And also we will have a Q&A session, so please keep your questions to the end and put them in the chat, and we will pick them up later on. So now over to you, Carl.
Thanks, Tobbe. So PTC is an international software company with headquarters based in Boston. We're developing software mainly for manufacturing companies since 1985. We offer tools for the digital transformation, such as CAD for design, PLM for managing data, IoT to connect to products or manufacturing operations, and augmented reality to visualize and interact with the digital thread. To you, Johan and Akhil.
Thank you, Carl. So my name is Johan Ekengren, and I am the Nordic market lead representing DxP Services. I'm very pleased to have been invited to share some of the experiences and some of our know-how when it comes to what we believe are the market trends and the benefits of embracing digital transformation through Windchill Plus. This is a big, very important and highly prioritized topic, and we are now allowed to spend the next 30 minutes or so discussing this. But as you can realize, it's a big topic to discuss in such a short time frame, so we will do our best to dig as deep as possible within these 30 minutes. With me today, I also have my colleague Akhil. Maybe I can ask you, Akhil, to quickly introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Johan. Good day to all. Thanks a lot for joining in this interesting session on embracing digital transformation through Windchill Plus. My name is Akhil Jain, based out of Bangalore. Been in the PLM industry for almost 23 years, predominantly on PTC products. I'm a big fan of PTC and PTC's PLM products. Quickly, my core role with DxP Services cut across three folds. One, I take care of the capability building on PTC stack, primarily PLM, ALM, SLM. I also am accountable for the Global Delivery Center based out of India. And last but not the least, I'm also working very closely with PTC in defining the Windchill Plus offering, and also accountable for all the delivery on Windchill Plus programs that we deliver.
Thank you, Akhil. And to start this session, we would like to just ensure that everyone is aware of who are we, who are DxP Services. We are a very newly formed business unit. Maybe you have heard about us, but we have not existed more than the past 7 months approximately. So this is the result of a deepening of the relationship between PTC and ITC Infotech. They have already, for the past plus 20 years, been in an extensive relationship, but it was agreed some 7 months ago to form this new business entity, this business unit called DxP Services, which is actually creating one of the leading ecosystems focusing on PTC software, the PTC extended PLM offerings, and bringing together what we believe are the best of two different previous entities. So I will start this session by showing you a short introductory video that hopefully can explain a bit more on who we are within DxP Services. So hopefully my video is now with me, and let's see if this works.
DxP Services, an ITC Infotech brand, is a specialized business unit focused on the adoption of PTC's industry-leading Windchill and Windchill Plus product lifecycle management (PLM) software. Created through the acquisition of PTC's PLM Implementation Services division, DxP Services enables customers to migrate from a highly customized on-premises implementation to next-generation best practice SaaS, software as a service. ITC Infotech is a wholly owned subsidiary of ITC Limited, one of India's leading private sector companies and a diversified corporation. ITC Infotech combines digital expertise, strong industry-specific alliances, and deep domain understanding from ITC Group businesses to provide business-friendly solutions. Operating out of 40 countries with over 700 PTC PLM professionals, DxP Services forms the largest PTC PLM ecosystem globally. DxP Services is unique, with a strong combination of PTC heritage and ITC Infotech power. Our team of premium PLM professionals has exceptional industry depth and strong technology expertise. We offer unparalleled, shore-optimized, scalable services and flexible engagement models. Our portfolio of services augments value at every step of modern industrial evolution, covering consulting, implementation, deployment, and optimization. Our PLM professionals are trusted advisors, accompanying our customers' digital transformation. DxP Services' unparalleled expertise and industry knowledge are focused on aerospace and defense, automotive, electronics and high-tech, manufacturing, and retail footwear and apparel. To know more about us, you can visit our DxP Services website, www.itcinfotech.com/DxP-services, where you can connect with our experts. We look forward to becoming your trusted advisors for your digital transformation.
All right. So back to the presentation again, and just to re-emphasize what you just heard in the video. What has happened is that we combined the previous PTC PLM services organization, basically based out of Europe and North America, with an extensive experience of and product expertise when it comes to understanding and having the ability to implement, guide our customer base when related to PTC software. With this group of people being located very close and having a lot of customer intimacy, with a great experience from being early on involved with the customers to help advise, build roadmaps, and define how a PTC implementation would look like, but also be part of the actual implementation aspects. This group of people has now been joined together with the ITC Infotech PLM practice, which is typically complementary to what we have seen from PTC previously, with a lot of experience with implementations, but also consolidation programs, upgrade migrations, system integrations in various shapes and forms, but also application maintenance. So these two together is now the business unit called DxP Services, which is the largest system integrated for PTC digital transformation, with global presence, where we typically say that we have a dual mission. So naturally, we will continue to focus on enabling the digital thread across the PTC customer install base. And we also have a clear ambition to, together with PTC, also transform the customers into a SaaS environment. And this is the topic of today, to share our experience and what we learn from the market and what the analysts are saying and how we go about this journey. So over to you, Akhil.
Yeah, thank you. So we have been implementing basically PLM solutions on the back of PTC for more than 2 decades now, and we cover all aspects of the digital thread, right from ideation and portfolio management to requirements management for certain industry verticals like automotive, MBSE, systems engineering concepts, going all the way into part document, BOM management, and within BOM, of course, you have engineering BOM, E-BOMs, overloaded or otherwise, M-BOMs, routes, process plans, integration, both upstream, multicad, and downstream. So once this all is done, then we extend the digital thread to service lifecycle management, where we cover the aspects of digital service content management and service BOMs as well. Now, this digital thread we are able to stitch because now, as you see, we have the experts which cover not only the blueprinting, giving life to the blueprint, defining the roadmap, all the way through implementation and combination of value-added services, which as part of any project or program you need, for example, migrations, integrations, instance consolidations, upgrades. So once we establish all this, we also provide application management and support services. In addition to this, last but not the least, where PTC is pivoting towards is Windchill Plus, the SaaS software ecosystem. And this is the services we are actually also kind of differentiating ourselves, building the capabilities, working with a lot of customers, because that's the future where PTC is going. That's the future where we are also investing in building the capabilities. Yeah, next, Johan.
Thank you, Akhil. And then to the subject of today. So what do we hear from the market? What, in our opinion, are the trends that we face and that we hear when discussing with our customers? So the leading companies that we are dealing with, they are clearly continuing their transformation, their digital transformation, in order to gain a competitive advantage. This is nothing new, right? But we also clearly see that this is typically accelerating. So more and more time, efforts, and ambitions is being spent into this journey. This is very clear to us, and when we discuss with our customers, it's also more and more seen as very, very important to them to have SaaS as part of their digital transformation journey. So when interviewing customers, we can see that the majority of them are either considering SaaS as a natural part of the digital transformation, as either important or extremely important to them. And that applies both to CAD and PLM to a greater extent than we have seen in the past. So what are our customers saying to us when we are discussing with them? Well, most of them, they are already on their path or have already embarked on the journey to have SaaS as a natural part of their environment, or they are turning to us to get some guidance on how to define and adopt a SaaS strategy. And the reasons, the rationale for doing this can be several different things, right? But typically they claim, and we agree with that they need to more quickly be able to launch new product programs and bring them up to speed. That's extremely important to have that agility. They typically also see a quite complex situation when it comes to system integrations with data exchange across the enterprises, and how to handle and manage frequent application changes, bringing new features into their environments. And of course, this also comes with additional deployment challenges. So it's always a bit of a struggle to define what the best strategy for allowing time and the right time for making system upgrades. How should they manage their technology stack and the stack across the typically always a global enterprise. And how do you do that in a cost-efficient way? And also make use of the already existing customizations that are in place.
Yeah.
And I would say that Windchill, as we all know, has been the leading PLM solution and one of the leading PLM solutions for the past decades now. And one of the reasons for initially choosing PTC software is also its ability to allow for flexibility and also being able to customize in order to align with the business needs. But over time, that has also resulted in a high total cost of ownership, a high complexity when it comes to multiple and quite complex customizations. And this is becoming more and more of a problem to the customers we speak with. So when they turn to us, they typically ask us, how can we speed things up, but how can we also embrace the new technology and make use of a new way of configuring and customizing the software in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Akhil, did you want to say something?
Yeah. Just before I say, are you still on the cloud slide? I am not able to see the slide. Kind of frozen. Okay, now I see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think you covered most of the things, Johan. Additional things I wanted to say is just take a step back. I think we're talking about Windchill Plus, which is a SaaS offering from PTC, and how we are actually working together with PTC, working so that we can actually help the customers move from their legacy deployment all the way to SaaS, which is the future. Now, if you go with the SaaS in general in the market, in another study from ITC, you will find almost 80% of the respondents are either using SaaS or plan to use SaaS. Why? Because of the inherent advantages of a better user experience for the customer, performance, system upgrades, and things like that. Now you tie it back to PLM, Windchill Plus, specifically an offering from PTC, you see there are similar advantages or even more in case of the PLM environment. For example, if you go to SaaS, this is probably the last upgrade you do, because when we are actually working with you and taking you from an on-prem or a private cloud deployment to Windchill Plus, if you are at a legacy or an old version, we actually make you compliant with the latest version of Windchill Plus. And once you are on Windchill Plus, all the future upgrades will be done seamlessly behind the scenes. So that means there is zero downtime for you. You don't have to worry about any capital expenditure, which you probably do today, because it's a capex expense when you're moving from one particular version to another. Another thing, customization. It's sometimes not understood by the customers that when you talk about SaaS, it does not mean that you are not allowed to do customization. Customizations are allowed. It's just a different way of customizing, because we give you the guardrails using which we can actually help you customize, or you can do the customization using those guardrails, so that tomorrow, once you're giving a package to SaaS, nothing breaks, because it's a common instance for multiple customers. So it's just that you're getting a boundary within which you can do the customization. Net and net, I think a lot of advantages if you move to SaaS, specifically Windchill Plus. As we move forward, we will also cover how we can specifically help you in your journey from your current installation to Windchill Plus. Yeah, Johan. Yeah. Now, if you see this slide, you will see basically 3 steps. I would say this is a methodology. This methodology of taking any customer from, let's say, a private cloud or an on-premise to Windchill Plus has been developed jointly with PTC, as I mentioned in the beginning. So we didn't only develop the methodology, we are also working developing the offering, the tools, etc. Jointly. Now, the journey for any customer towards Windchill Plus starts with probably an assessment. This assessment we do with the tool called Windchill Compare Utility. This is kind of an automated tool which we run in a customer's environment, and we get majority of the information on what the customer has. Now, once we get that information, we are able to assess where the customer stands, and we can actually define the path towards Windchill Plus. Now, when you do this, there are various types of customers. Some are simple customers. Most of the customers are with heavy customizations and integrations. So when we actually prepare an assessment report, we also guide the customers on what needs to be done so that they become compliant to Windchill Plus. After assuming that the customers are compliant, and we have certain examples where we are already working with them in actually taking them to Windchill Plus, we get into a conversion phase. This is where exactly the actual execution happens. And when we talk about the execution, it's partially automated, will become fully automated as we move forward. And this has multiple aspects. It has, let's say, code in a certain way, decustomization, making your code standardized in a manner that Windchill Plus or SaaS can take. Takes care of writing your integration in a SaaS compliant manner, managing your, let's say, upstream CAD integration in a SaaS compliant manner. So a lot of things come. So depending upon the maturity of the customer, we take a call, and it depends on the maturity. It also defines how much time will it take. But this is a very critical phase. And as part of this, we also build automated tools for testing so that when we are actually handing over the environment to PTC, as we mentioned earlier, tomorrow when the system is getting upgraded, all those customizations can be tested automatically behind the scenes without much interference from the end client. So that's why you see the typical phases: assessment, conversion, and operate. Assessment and conversion is where we work very closely with the PTC sales team. DxP and PTC work together. In every project, we work very closely with the R&D team because a lot of tools and methodology we're developing together, and to make sure the customer journey is very smooth. And once everything is done, it will actually be handed over to the PTC cloud team, which basically part of the operate phase. Yeah.
Thank you, Akhil.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, over the past 7-8 months, we have been working very closely with PTC on Windchill Plus conversions and standardization, basically the deployment on legacy or on-prem or cloud. Now, over the past so many months, we have done almost 40 to 45 assessments, and the results have been very interesting, right? Most of the customers, as we see, they are very, they want to go towards Windchill Plus because their problems today are the ones Johan highlighted in the beginning, right? There's huge cost of technical debt. They want to reduce the technical debt. That technical debt is in the form of customizations. The system performance is not so well. They have constraints or concerns on the IT security as well, specifically on the on-premise environment. And all these things and many more are taken care by Windchill Plus. So as we see customers on various maturity in the form of how, let's say, mature is their implementation in terms of, let's say, digital thread, how complex it is. And then we categorize the customers, let's say, in simple, medium, complex. And then once we get the assessment report, we decide or we advise them on where they are and how they can actually go to Windchill Plus. As we speak, we're already working with few customers across North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. The customers are from automotive, control, hydraulic industry, HVAC, where we actually did the assessment and then we actually got into the real project execution. So as we speak, a few implementations are already going on. And I see in the next 2 or 3 quarters, these implementations are going to increase more and more, because as we move forward, we see the interest from the customer is moving towards Windchill Plus is increasing. Now, having said that, it's not a straightforward movement. In some cases, it's a journey. There are certain customers which are simple, which do not have many customizations. Those kind of customers are relatively small, but then the path to Windchill Plus for them is relatively straightforward, let's say 3 to 4 months. Then majority of the customers will fall into the category where there is decent customization. Any enterprise install base will have multi-CAD, downstream integration with ERP and other systems, and a lot of customizations, right? So that is what we are looking at it, and that is where you see about 6 to 7 months time can be decustomized or can be standardized in a manner. And there are customers where we are actually working with them as well. So these are the two type of customers we see. You will also have customers which are extremely complex, very exception kind of cases. That will probably be covered as part of the Windchill Plus as we mature forward, let's say in another 6 to 7 months. So overall, net in net, a lot of, let's say, interest from the customers. We see a lot of, let's say, urgency also to move away from the legacy install base towards Windchill Plus, and the customers are ready to invest time and information with us so we can actually make their journey faster and smoother. Johan?
Yes, that's a good transition into our final slide here. So what do we recommend to our customers when initially being in discussions with them? Well, the SaaS PLM journey is already here, right? No question about it, and it's here to stay. So do not wait too long for starting your company's journey on digital transformation. And these changes could be seen as something big, something a bit scary, but our opinion is that it's not really all that complex. And once you get the proper guidance and start looking into these assessments that Akhil has now informed us about, it's not that complex to get moving on the transformation journey. And you will also find that, like Akhil has said, that for some companies, some customers to PTC, it's a very straightforward transition phase for moving from on-prem to a SaaS environment. But for some others, it may require a longer period of time. But during that time, our experience is that we quite immediately see benefits for decustomizing or reshaping some of the customizations, making use of a larger extent of out-of-the-box functionality. So the immediate effects are there, really, and you don't need to wait for a future final SaaS Windchill Plus availability. So get started with this, and in order to do that, the first step is to reach out to your PTC representative and get some additional guidance on how this assessment can be launched. And we also recommend you to getting involved with us to ensure that we can guide you on how a SaaS strategy could look like. But by doing that, it's typically also the case that we are involved in revisiting and even revising your PLM roadmap for the future years to come. So those are our basic recommendations. So that was an intense 27 minutes. But with that, I leave over for you for any questions.
Thanks a lot, Johan and Akhil. Really good overview. And as I said, I mean, let's raise your hand and ask any questions you might have. I think we have already now a few questions in the chat. So maybe, Hemant, you would like to get started? Otherwise, I can read the question that you were having in the chat as well. What are the rate of adoption between an old customer versus a total new customer for Windchill Plus?
See, Windchill Plus offering is now out in the open for the past, I would say, almost a year. So it's difficult to kind of say the rate of adoption per se today, but what we see is any new customer that is coming, they're directly going to Windchill Plus in most of the cases because they see a lot of value. Now, the old customers, if you see, depending upon where they are in the maturity and the complexity, we have to advise them whether they fit or they're not a direct fit, and then what is the path for them to go to Windchill Plus. So as I said in the beginning, for the existing customers on legacy of on-premise environment and private cloud environment, there's a lot of interest. Customers are coming and some are converting, some are taking a wait, some are not ready because they have to be compliant before we can take them to Windchill Plus. More and more new customers, as we see based on our discussion with PTC, they are trying to basically go to Windchill Plus directly.
Thank you. I think you had another question, Hemant, as well.
Sure. So thanks, Akhil, for answering the first one. My concern was more on the new customer for the greenfield environment, right? Who have never had a PLM system, so they would be a little bit more open for Windchill Plus and a similar SaaS-based platform, right? The second one is actually So what are the main challenges you are hearing, which are acting as a resistance point for the customers to, adopt to Windchill Plus?
Yeah, this is a very good question and a very fair question, Hemant. That's why I partially covered it right when I said most of the enterprise install base is highly customized, right? They will have customizations. They will have, for example, if I go a little deeper, jar files. They will have modified the database schemas, right? In a Windchill Plus environment, the multi-tenant going forward, you cannot have those. So first, they have to get rid of that with our help or with, let's say, with the guardrails that are provided to become compliant. So the intent, even with that kind of customization, is there with the customers. But then some of the things that they have done, which probably is not the best practice, actually, I would not say stops them to go there, it just delays their journey. That's what I would say. That is one of the main things I see. Second, of course, you will see multiple integration downstreams, all kind of connectors written. And again, that has to be standardized. So that again has to be ported in a manner that works for Windchill. So these are the two major things that we see, Hemant.
And Akhil, so associated question would be that for such a complex environment, how would you convince a customer with a good ROI, right? Because that would eventually boil down to money. Of course, it's all about nice positive things, but ultimately it will be boiling down to money, right?
Yeah, so I think I'll take a shot, and maybe Johan, it's more of a your question, but the way we approach is you're right. See, long term, we actually have to give the ROI for any customer that wants to Windchill Plus. It's not that you go for a particular that you here is the Windchill Plus offering and this is what you pay. No, every customer looks at a 3 to 5 year ROI, and what we have seen when you compare apples to apples in 3 to 5 year ROI, customers see the value. So it will be a combination of Windchill Plus, of course, software plus the services, plus not to forget the fact that they have to upgrade in today's environment. Most of the customers try to upgrade and update within every 18 months, right? That's a capex. And not to say that those projects get delayed, then they put another support team to manage all those customizations. You compare that apples to apples, and we are able to put an ROI. And without ROI, no customer will even start, right? That's normal business. So that's my point of view, and that's what I have seen actually.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Just a very quick, last question here. What are the cloud platforms supported by Windchill Plus?
Well, it should be transparent for the customer. It's on SaaS. So whatever is there behind the scenes, the customer should not worry about that. That's what I would say. It can be anything, right? Because now it's managed by PTC, the product vendor, and it's a SaaS environment.
Super, thanks. And time is unfortunately running out, always going very fast. So many thanks everyone for joining, and a special thanks, of course, to you, Johan and Akhil. And of course, if you have any, other questions, you have the contact details to Johan and Akhil, so just reach out and send any kind of questions you might have there. So with that, I wish you all a fantastic weekend and hope to see you again, already next week on the PTC Talks. So have a nice weekend, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.